All right, folks, what is going on? Back with another episode of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. Today, we're going to talk more Georgia Southern football. Kind of, something that I'm really interested in because this topic actually been on my mind for some weeks now, and I thought it was a little too early to talk about it, but now I think it's a good time because we have spring practice is about to start. Spring game is right around the corner. And we really need to talk about the expectations of Coach Clay Helton. Now, right now, I feel like he exceeded our expectations with all the things he's done. And it's very interesting and exciting to see what happens next because I don't know. I mean, all the recruiting, the staff that he brought in, the culture that he has, brought about from USC to Georgia Southern. I am really excited about this. So we're going to talk about this episode 293, First and Frame Rates. Like I said, I'm VF Ball. If this is your first time here, welcome. Hopefully you stick around and listen to not only this episode, some past episodes, and episodes we do in the future. I really appreciate it. If you are listening on the YouTube or Rumble side of things, you also know that I do this podcast on various podcast avenues. And if you're looking at the screen, if you're on the YouTube and Rumble side, you see it all on the screen. I got it up here so people can actually find their way if they want to listen, as well as or if they want to watch as well. So I'm on Anchor, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple, and Google, so you can find the podcast on various sites. I am trying to expand to a few more. Once I do that, you guys will definitely know. I will give you guys the heads up. So maybe neither one of these are your favorite platforms, or you're thinking about moving to these favorite of these platforms of your choice. The option is there, so I really appreciate it. And last but not least, if you want to really show support, and all the ways to donate is down in the description via CashApp and or through the Anchor link down below on either of these sites. So what I would like for you to do one more time, if I haven't said it already, like, share, subscribe to the podcast or the videos. You can follow me on Rumble, you can subscribe on YouTube, and you can subscribe on any of these platforms that you like. All right, enough of all of that talk. Let's talk about Coach Helton. What do he need to do to create a legacy at Georgia Southern? I mean, the bar is really high. A lot of people want to talk about what happened since we've won the Sun Belt back in 2014. We won a few bowl games. We've done pretty good for ourselves overall, expanding and moving up to the FBS. But we achieve higher things. We want championships. And it's very far-fetched to say that we could get like a national championship. I mean, I don't think that's going to be in the cards no time soon. But I want us to be at least competing or be in or winning the Sun Belt title. I want us to be there. And I think that the expectation is it's a high bar, but when you're at Georgia Southern, that's the bar that we set for ourselves. We are a very prestigious, we're a very prestigious program. We have other prestigious programs coming in, and we need to continue to hold ourselves to the higher standard. Now, Coach Clay Helton comes in November of 2021. He has already set things in order. He already has things in place where he wants to have a winning, a winning culture, a winning vibe, a winning atmosphere at Georgia Southern once again. With him following the steps of a Irk Russell, which everybody that knows anything about college football, and we talk about Georgia Southern being a fairly small school in the scheme of things, but people in the world of college football knows the legacy of Georgia Southern and the legacy of Irk Russell, which he should be in the College Hall of Fame, but we're not going to talk about that now. And we also know the legacy of Paul Johnson, what he was able to do. We know the Tracy Hams of the world. We know the Adrian Petersons, the Georgia Southern Adrian Peterson of the world. Plenty of other athletes who came through. The Edwin Jackson, may rest in peace. The Jarrett McKinnon's, the Matt Braders. It's so many guys that have came through that have done very well. Ironhead Gallen. I mean, the list can go on and on. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole because I could talk about that and list names all day. My personal favorite between 1A and 1B is Jason Foster and Greg Hill. I used to love watching those guys play, but like I said, this is a whole nother I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. But what I will say is, Coach Clay Helton got some big shoes to fill. He does. And it looks like he's on his way to do so. What he need to do to create that legacy, I'm gonna tell you right now. A lot of people say 6, 7 wins, 8 wins. To start out the gate, I still believe he needs to start with 8 wins his first season, and the following season we need to go at least 10 games or more. That's one way to start creating a legacy. Now, if he wants to continue to be here I think he signed for 5 years. If he stays the 5 years and continue to have, 9 wins or better, and get us a Sun Belt title, 1, 2, or 3, I think that's the minimum overall that we can, say he's one of the good, great Georgia Southern coaches that walked through the door and stepped on the field at Paulson Stadium. But to create a legacy, I feel like he's going to have to go and go further. To create a serious legacy, a real one. Not saying that the one I just mentioned was fake, but a real one. Winning some Sun Belt champions is great. The 5 years he's here, if you win 3, if he wins 2, that's awesome. I'm going to tell you right now, with the plight of Georgia Southern and what we stand for as a football program, I think if Coach Helton could get us into the top 20, top 15, with a group of 5 team to get in the top 15 of the national polls, I think that's something that will be like the next step as far as the legacy of coaches. We saw what we done on the FCS level. We done very well. We done pretty good for ourselves in the FBS. Yeah, we haven't got that one Power 5 win yet. I don't think we did. I think we beat Florida back in the FCS days. We should have won the game up there, up north, that I don't want to talk about, them Golden Gophers. I don't want to talk about that game. That game is off limits here. We don't talk about that game. But I think that we're on our way to do that. If he can do what the guys in Conway, South Carolina did, I think that really solidifies him as one of the great Georgia Southern coaches. Now, if he does what Cincinnati did, wow, that's just phenomenal. With the strength of this conference, I think it's possible. But I'm not going to say I don't see it happening, but it's a possibility. The talent that he has right now is just only the beginning. And I think, we just got a 4-star running back. You get us 3 or 4, 5 more 4-star players, it's possible we can run roughshod on the Sun Belt, maybe lose 1, maybe none games out of conference. Depends on who we play and when we play them. Then we could be talking about, some serious top 10, top 5, discussions in the national polls. But that's just really far. But we're talking about what he needs to do to create a legacy. I feel that if he walks away after doing the 5 years, if he don't extend, if something happens, if he goes to another school or he retires or whatever the case may be, if he goes through these 5 years and within these 5 years we win some Sun Belt championships, we possibly could be ranked. And I'm not talking about an Appalachian State rank. Don't get me wrong, being in the top 25 is good, but and that would do wonders for Clay Helton building this team that way. But if he does like what a Louisiana or what those guys in Coastal Carolina did, where those guys was like up there, they were up there like in the top, I think at the highest, I can't remember what it was. They had to be like in the top 15, top, close to being top 10 or something like that. I can't remember. But if he can get to that point, there's no doubt. There's no doubt that he could be up there with the great coaches that we have already. That's just taking it to another level where not only we went to the FBS, we're hanging with the real big boys now. We're not just beating a Bowling Green. We're not just, we're not just beating a Louisiana Tech or a Eastern Michigan. It's not one of those situations. So now we're looking at where it could be another step, another notch on the story that's written in Georgia Southern football, where Clay Helton came in, where this team was pretty much not really good, 3-9, turn you guys around, have a winning season, and by year 2 and year 3, we're in the discussions of a group of 5 making the Power Fives respect our name. And I think at the end of the day, that's all. I think us as Georgia Southern, I think really that's all we want. We want the respect of the Power 5 teams. And I think we were able to get the respect from Georgia when we went to Georgia and we almost beat them in overtime, which I wish Young Waku would have just kicked that 40-yard field goal or whatever the case may be. I think it was a 40-yard field goal. We could have probably won that game. It was like a minute left. But we decided to punt. But I think we do have the respect. I think the program respects Georgia Southern. Now the fans, that's another issue. I talked about this in another podcast, and a couple of Georgia fans came and said, yeah, they do love us. They do respect us. The fact that we beat Florida, that was fun. But I honestly feel like at this point with the talent that we have, I don't think we'll be able to catch up to Georgia no time soon. I mean, those guys just won a national champion and they done very well. So Clay Helton, in the respects of the state of Georgia, got a lot of work to do. But I always felt that Georgia Southern could be the second best college football team in the state of Georgia easily. And with this guy being the coach, I don't see how that would not be an issue. I see that we could do it. I respect Georgia State because they fight like hell to make a name for themselves, but I truly don't believe that program is as good or as talented as we are. We played those teams when we just act like we didn't care. I don't think Coach Helton's going to make that mistake. I don't think he's going to let these players make that mistake. Georgia Tech, I mean, what can you say? Georgia Tech football is just not where it needs to be, and I think that we could surpass them at some point. Shout out to the baseball team. The baseball team just beat Georgia Tech recently. Shout out to the Georgia Southern baseball team. Might have to get some baseball gear for Georgia Southern. But I just don't see it at the end of the day where there's no other college in the state of Georgia outside of the UGA can, have that recognition to Georgia. I think because at the end of the day, I feel, and I'm going to go a little bit off topic. I'm going to get back to Clay Helton real quick. I personally believe that Georgia State and Georgia Southern should play Tech and Georgia every year and switch back and forth. Like this year we will play Georgia. Next year we will play Tech. And that same year while we're playing Georgia State should play Tech. In the following year they should play, and as a 4-way round robin type of deal where it'd be an in-state rivalry for all 4 teams. Because Georgia Tech and Georgia already play each other. Georgia State and Georgia Southern already play each other. Let's just play them every year, put us on the schedule. Yeah, it may be a blowout for a second. It may be a blowout every year. But the fact that these kids are playing in-state teams, that means a lot to them. You never know what may happen, especially with the recruiting Clay Helton is doing. Honestly, especially with the recruiting that they're doing up there with the Panthers. I respect what they're doing. One thing I will say, and this is why I get so upset when I think about the rivalry of Georgia Southern, Georgia State. One thing I don't like about this rivalry is the fact that we as a team, we as a program act like this team don't exist at times. And we wonder why we keep getting smacked around by them at the most inopportune time. I don't think Coach Helton is going to let that happen. I don't think he's going to let us, fall by the wayside of any team. Now I know these guys in Southern California want to talk mess about Clay Helton. Newsflash: y'all had problems since the Reggie Bush days. Anybody gonna disagree? Ever since Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, Lindell White, all of them left, y'all ain't been the same since. It's not on Coach Helton. Did I do that right? There we go. It's not on Coach Clay Helton. So stop it. We'll put respect on my coach's name. He won y'all Pac-12 title. Jeez. But nevertheless, I feel that he's going to be the one. He is going to be the one that get this team together where it needs to be. I feel like he just needs to continue to move forward with what he's doing, expect greatness out of his players, get these recruits that he got now, build those guys up, because by the time they're in year 3, those guys could be phenomenal players. And we can run through the Sun Belt, because I don't see nobody recruiting as good as Georgia. I don't care what anybody says. I don't see anybody recruiting as good as Georgia Southern. Once we got that 4-star running back, I knew it was on. And there's more of that is going to come. I believe that. And I'm not saying this is to hype things up. I mean, obviously I have a bias, but I'm not hyping this up to be like, oh man, go for Georgia Southern. No, I'm looking at what's happening since this guy came out here and he decided to be the coach of this team. How he watched and evaluated talent, which don't be surprised by the end of summer, or not summer, by the beginning of summer, the end of spring practice and spring ball. Don't be surprised some of our favorite players may not be around, because that's just what happens with the coaching change. And I hate to say that some of these guys could get cut. I mean, I don't advocate for that, but you just never know. I mean, that's just a part of the team. That's just a part of football. I want to see all these guys there, but I'm already expecting something like that could possibly happen. I'm not going to be surprised, but I hate for it to happen. But hey, there's something to keep in the back of your mind. Just want you to keep that in the back of your mind. But with that being said, I see changes that's going to happen to where these kids are going to be able to flourish. You know what? I'm going to backtrack for that. No, I'm not going to. I'm going to stand on that, because I think now with COVID protocol, you can have extra players now. I could be wrong. Please, if you want to, say that I'm wrong in the comment section, or hit me up on Twitter at VFBaller. Let me know. Let me know if I'm wrong. But with that being said, I think this guy is going to command greatness. He's going to want to do great for this team. And the way he did with the Pac-12, which USC, like I said, USC got some great recruits, but at the same time, the rest of the Pac-12 is catching up to USC in general. You guys wasn't good since 2007. So with that being said, I mean, you saw all the coaching changes y'all went through after Pete Carroll left. Can't put this on that guy. But with him being in the Group of 5 team, with him being with the Group of 5 conference, with him being with the Group of 5 team like Georgia Southern, I think this guy is going to actually create something special. I think he's going to be able to win us a few championships. If I'm wrong, hey. But as of right now, the proof is in the pudding where I see it. I don't see anything else. I don't see all these great moves of getting a great running back coach, great defensive coordinator, great strength and conditioning coach, a good offensive coordinator, a guy who's already proven that he can have an eye for talent with himself as recruiting, with the eye of talent, the talent that he's already recruited, not only at Memphis, USC, and other places that he's been. You can't tell me that this guy is not going to be able to give up double-digit wins. I just see it. And I don't see how you don't see it. Now, does it happen? I don't know, but I see he has the recipe for it to happen, and I see it happening based on what I see now. If it don't, hey, that's just a part of the game. But like I said, what I see here, I see where this is going. I expect by this year we win 8 games, and by year 2, we win double-digit games. That's just the minimum for me. And at the end of the day, I want to see him in his 5 years. I think he has a 5-year contract. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I want to see him win at least 2 Sun Belt titles. And I want to see us be ranked in the top 25, preferably top 15. If those guys down there in Conway, South Carolina do it, then why not us? If they can do it, why not us? That's gonna be my time for this episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I did a little rambling. I didn't have any articles, anything to talk about. This was just me talking to you guys, let you know what I think that Coach Helton needs to do to create a legacy at Georgia Southern. I'm here for it. I can't wait to see it happen. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you are listening on YouTube, I think Rumble has a comment section as well. If not, I am at VF Baller, where you can tweet at me and let me know what you think. Also, leave me a 5-star rating on that star chart when it comes to the Apple iTunes podcast side of things, and leave me a comment or some feedback. Leave me a little small little sentence, a paragraph of what you think about this show. I hope you enjoyed this. I really do. We're going to be talking about more Falcons, more Georgia Southern stuff. I think, Fridays that you kind of want to do a free fall where we just jump back and forth between both teams, and we actually talk about some things under that umbrella. So hopefully you guys will stick around. Like I said, if you like this, hit the like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the podcast, and hit auto download. If you do that, the podcast will download for you automatically once it's up every morning at 9 a.m. It'll be up ready for you to go, and you can listen to it at your own leisure. Last but not least, if you want to donate, you can hit the Cash App at VFBaller20 or $VFBaller20, or you can hit the anchor link where down there where you can also donate as well. The PayPal is coming soon. If it's not in the description now, trust me, it will be there by this coming Monday coming up. So please bear with me with that, because some people may like to want to go that route as well. All right, y'all. Y'all be blessed. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Have a good one. Be blessed. I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, y'all. Peace.